good, everybody? This is Coach Phil, and welcome to another episode of Deep in the Game. And we have Joey Corcoran out of University of New Hampshire, wide receiver, man. And he's from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Joey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
That's good, man. That's good, man. I see you getting that off-season work in, man. What you working on this off-season?
Right now, man, I'm just trying to work on speed, strength, just kind of get everything done before, the combine. Honestly, I don't have one specific thing. I just want to get better in all aspects.
That's what I'm hearing from a lot of guys, man, when it comes to the combine, man. They're working on everything. They're not just staying stationary and just doing one thing, man. Are you nervous for the combine coming up soon, or are you just like, hey, it's just another day?
Honestly, I mean, I'm nervous before honestly everything. I feel like that's just part of me, but I feel like that brings out the best in me. I'm not gonna say I'm terrified. I feel like nerves are important for sport. But nah, man, I'm just doing what I've been doing since a kid. I'm just preparing how I've been preparing, just with a little more intensity and a little more focus. I'm just nervous, but I'm also extremely excited.
It's an exciting time for you, man. I see, man, you had a really solid season, man. 39 receptions, 459 yards, 4 touchdowns, man. Take us through how your season was, man. You stepped up, made some plays, man, for your team, man. What was it like for you this season?
This season was good. We kind of went into the season. We had some new transfers. We had a new quarterback. We just spent the whole summer kind of gelling and kind of getting to know each other a bit. But honestly, this season was amazing. In terms of myself, I don't really care about, stats and stuff like that. I just care about helping the team win. But in terms of the season, making the playoffs, getting into that, column of, 2024 UNH Wildcats made the playoffs. So I just, I feel like overall it was a success. I feel like as myself, we always want to do stuff better. We always want to work on stuff that we can, get better at. But honestly, to me, we made the playoffs. It would have been nice to go all the way, but reality happens. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I got to have a good season with my brothers.
That's all that matters, man. Being able to play with your boys, man, and having some success in the field. Now, you personally, I know you don't really care about stats, but your best game that you had, five receptions, 129 yards, 3 touchdowns against Stonehill. It stood out to me that you were just you seem like you don't get frazzled, you don't get too high, too low, but man, you had an outstanding game. What was going on with you that game, and how'd you parlay that into a pretty good season?
Honestly, just nothing different. I kind of just I do what I always do. I felt like I got a little more opportunity that game, and I just showed what I could do. I got the ball. I was able to make plays downfield. I was able to do what I had to do in the run game and do what I had to do in the pass game. I it didn't feel like any. It didn't feel any different than any other game. Just a couple more long passes and a couple more times hitting that end zone. So it was good. But at the end of the day, we won, so that's really all that matters.
That's right. That's right. So tell us, man, give us a little more info, man. You growing up, man? You from Montreal, Quebec. Have you always been a big football fan? Has football always been just in your blood, or was it something that over time you picked up on?
Nah, man. Football has always been in my blood. I kind of followed my brother in that aspect. I kind of wanted to be like him. He was a star, man, growing up. I wanted to follow in his footsteps, and I just kind of took football on after he did, and from then on, I just followed him, and then eventually took my own path to the U.S.
How did you end up in the U.S., man? Because a lot of times we hear guys, not a lot of guys from Canada come from Canada to the U.S. How'd
Yeah.
you get up at University of New Hampshire?
So I I went to high school at Selwyn House, which is in Westmount. And one of my, I guess I can say family members or second father or whatever, Mike Morvich, he was my head football coach. He had connections to prep schools down in the States. And after my final season at Selwyn House, I kind of started talking to prep schools. I ultimately ended up going to St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire, and played 2 seasons there. So that kind of got me into the scene of, I guess you could say, U.S. football, and started getting me, known to every university, D3, D2, and then eventually D1. And how I ended up at UNH, man. Funny story. I was me and my buddy Parker. He was a very highly recruited quarterback, 4 star. He just told me one day, he's like, "Hey, man, come wake up at 7 o'clock and come, just work out and like catch me while I like throw in front of, I think it was like Arkansas and like UCLA and stuff." And I was like, "Whatever, man. Like whatever I can do to help you out." And then I went there, caught some balls, and Chip Kelly, who actually went to UNH, who was head coach at UCLA at the time, he saw me run routes, and he called the UNH head coach at the time, Coach Mack, and he said, "You got to come check this guy out." Ultimately, yeah, ultimately worked out the next day, uh, in front of Coach Lyons. He was a DC, and they offered me. So that's kind of how my D1 journey started, which is crazy, but hey, whatever works.
Exactly. And to get that kind of seal of approval from Chip Kelly, that says a
Crazy,
whole lot right there, man. So
crazy,
it's off
yeah.
to you, man. So was there a hard transition for you playing from Canadian football to American football, or was it nothing to you?
Nothing. Nah, I mean, the ball was a little smaller, feels a little shorter. There was no running starts. I honestly didn't really notice a difference. I mean, I played defense my whole life in Canada, so when I started playing wide receiver in the US, I had to learn everything new anyway. So I didn't I didn't really notice anything, to be honest.
That's really funny to hear that, man, because a lot of guys, when we come from the States to Canada, you always hear, I didn't know about the running star. I didn't know about the rouge. I didn't know about these different things. So it seems like
Right.
we ain't shit.
Nah, I just grew up watching the NFL, and I didn't have a crazy idea, but I felt like I knew what I was doing, somewhat.
It's good that you mentioned the NFL, man. Did you have any players that you look to that, hey, I like his game. I like this part of his game. I want to take that and make it my own.
Uh, other than my brother, of course. I mean, growing up, I was a safety. I live and died by Cam Chancellor film.
Hey,
That was like I wore 31 because of him. Man, I was loved him. In terms of wide receiver, I especially coming into the scene late, I tried to literally take something from everybody. I didn't have a favorite wide receiver just because I needed everything I could get. So I watched Cooper Cup. I watched Antonio Brown. I watched Jordy Nelson. I watched so many of these guys just to try and see what the hell I was doing out there. But yeah, I mean, I still do that to this day, and I don't think I'll ever stop. To be honest.
man, always wanting to learn, man. That's what it's all about in this
Yeah.
game, man. So as we wind down, man, you're getting ready for the combine. We talked about it off camera, but talk to us real quick about what you're working on in your game, and where would you feel like you would be a great fit?
Man. What I'm working on in my game, I'm working on everything. Speed is one thing that I think I'm gonna really harp on. This, training. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna work on everything. Yeah, I'm constantly gonna try and develop my game. Um, where I think I would fit, I fit wherever someone wants me. Like I don't care what it is, I don't care what I gotta do. I'm gonna fit regardless. And to me, it's all about opportunity. So once I get the opportunity, I'm gonna take full advantage.
That's what it's all about, my brother. So I'm gonna splice in some of your film, man, into this video so people can really see. I was hoping I could be able to do it from my computer, but still trying to get things situated here and all that. But I'm gonna add it in here so they can see that you a baller, man. And I appreciate you
Appreciate
taking
that.
time out your busy day to be able to come on here, talk a little bit, man, tell your
It's my
story.
pleasure. My
And,
pleasure, man.
and if you ever need anything, man, just holler at me and let me know. We want to see you get yours, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pleasure, man. Seriously.
Man, anytime, man. So that's gonna be another episode of Deep in the Game. You might be deep in this game, but you got rules missing. Everybody take care and catch you down the road.
The man's in the house.
So crazy.
The man's in the house. I'ma tell you the truth. The man's in the house.
So crazy.
The man's in the house.